All right, guys, here we are out here on Kentucky Lake. I'm going to give you a quick rundown on what's been going on out here the last few weeks. It's hard to believe that we're already halfway through summer. 4th of July is here. That's why I'm shooting this report. You guys and gals that want to get out on the water this weekend and do a little fishing. If you're not fun boating, you want to do some fishing, get out there early before the crazies get out. Bite's been pretty decent in the morning. It's not been great. It's starting to, summer is here. We've had some warm days, but just give you kind of a quick rundown on what's happening out here. Fish for the most part through the summer, throughout the month of June, they were in pretty good schools. We still don't have the number of schools like we used to, but there's a lot of fish in the lake. And the thing that people have to realize is that, yes, there's a lot of fish in the lake, but there's not a lot of fish in the lake compared to what we used to have, say 8-10 years ago, when the lake was really, really good. So what you've had going on out here is, everybody's kind of hopscotching around and just fishing the same schools of fish. So what you're going to start seeing this time of year when you're out here scanning and looking offshore is you're going to start seeing a lot of those fish start to bust up. You'll be able to idle over the top of them and they'll just be real scattered, and that's usually a good indication that for the most part that somebody's been messing with them, or they've been fished for hard all summer long. So the good news is, if you do come out, don't be afraid to get up shallow and toss a topwater around a little bit, or toss like a dirty jigs swim jig up around laydowns, fish some docks. There's a lot of different things that you can do. As a matter of fact, when Kentucky Lake went through the tough years there, I actually stuck with it, and I just kind of had to relearn the lake. And there's a lot more fish up shallow than you think there are in the summer. We just never fished for them in the past. So if you get out here early, don't be afraid to get up, throw that topwater around. You'll start seeing the shad. There's the little emerald shiners. There's, I guess, threadfin, gizzard, everything in the lake right now. It is crazy right now, the amount of shad and bait fish that's in the lake. But you can get up shallow. They'll be around laydowns. They'll be around the little gravel bars. You'll see all that stuff. But get out here early, throw topwater around, get on that east side, get around some of the gravel bars, and you can catch some fish on topwater. It's that time of year, early in the morning. But the lake is healthy. I mean, it's water temperature's almost 90 degrees. It's been hot. We've had some really, really warm days here recently, but the bite's been overall still pretty decent. This time of year, the fishing does start getting a little bit tougher. They've been fished for hard for the last month or so, but one thing I've noticed here just in the last few days is the bait fish is finally migrating, the big clouds of bait. At this time of year, every year, sometime around the 1st of July, you'll start seeing it. And all of a sudden, you'll come out on the river and on these main lake secondary places that we usually scan and look for schools of fish. And all of a sudden, the bait has showed up. And usually when that happens, it's an indication that the fish are going to start really scattering and busting up, which is typical for the month of July. July is going to be a little bit tougher month than June. Still some fish to be caught. I have a feeling that most of your afternoons are probably going to be your little bit better bite, because they're not pulling a lot of water right now. And that is key in the summertime, in the hot summer, whenever these fish are schooled up like that. You have to have that current moving in order to get them active. One thing I have found is that when you roll over a place, don't be afraid to keep checking places, throughout the day that maybe they haven't been, because there's fish that are showing up on places that they haven't been all summer, just because there's so much bait moving around and it's keeping the fish moving around so much. But again, you pull up on a place and you might catch 2 or 3, and then you got to kind of bounce around. I mean, you're not going to sit on a spot right now and catch numbers, catch multiples like you did a month ago. It's just, there's probably some places out here where you can, but for the most part, the overall bite, it's 2 here, 1 there, 3 here. Pull up on a place, catch a few when they're fresh and ready to bite first thing in the morning, and then you'll have a little bit of lull time mid-morning to afternoon, and then they'll start biting again in the afternoon. I've had some afternoon trips, but I've canceled a lot of those here recently just due to the heat, but we actually got a little bit of break from that humidity. So hopefully throughout the week here, it's going to be a pretty nice 4th of July weekend. You guys and gals can get out, early in the morning, throw you a topwater around, a swim jig, throw you a little swim bait, throw you a little 3.2 Divine swim bait on a jig head. Just get over there on that east side, or even on the west side, anywhere where you see the little fry, the little shad fry, the little emerald shiners, I guess is what they are. They're all over the bank right now. And I that's a fun little bite. You know, you can actually catch a lot of fish, get some bites up there doing that. Kind of got to look for it, but you'll notice if you come out here, you'll see there's shad that's like big skipjack, big bait that's feeding on the smaller bait. You'll start seeing some whites start to run. So you guys that like to get out and chase the white bass, I have a feeling they're really going to get going. I have seen some that are coming up already, bulling on top, you know, schooling out here. So it's that time of year. It's July, it's hot, it's summertime on Kentucky Lake, and you know, for the most part, your bass bite is going to start getting a little bit tougher. Your smallmouth will start disappearing. The night fishing will be really good here anytime, I would assume. I don't do a lot of night fishing anymore, but this is the time of year where they'll really go to biting. But don't be afraid to come out here. Start checking some of the shallower stuff. What happens is these fish, as the summer goes on, just the opposite of what a lot of people think, they go deeper. They don't. The fish come up. They actually come up shallower for oxygen, and they'll get up on top of the same places where you found them all summer, but they'll start sliding up on top of that stuff, and that's when you can pick up a big worm. This time of year, I mean, a big worm it outfishes a lot of baits, and this is a bait that you can throw up on top of those flats. This is the Busa ribbon tail from 6 cents, just on a 5/0 hook. Just get out there, throw that thing around. You know, you'll find schools of fish, throw it around them. When they won't bite anything else, a lot of times when it gets hot in the summer, they'll bite that ribbon tail worm, and they'll start getting around brush piles, stumps, anywhere where that bait is hanging around, hard structures. That's where the bait wants to be. That's where your fish are going to be. A dirty jig's 3/4 ounce football jig. When I'm stroking a jig, I'll actually cut that weed guard off of it. You know, something just a green pumpkin watermelon color like this right here. That's just a good summertime color. You know, just get out here, hop it around. A lot of times when those fish are hard to catch this time of year, you can snap that bait or hop it and get those fish to react. I've got several bites on that 3/4 ounce football jig there. A drop shot is another bait, you know, throughout the summer that you're going to get. You know, you're just going to get bit on a drop shot and a Nico rig. For whatever reason, they're biting the drop shot a little bit better than the Nico. The Nico bite, I usually catch a lot on it, but for some reason right now it's not been that great. Just a bambusa worm with a nail in the end of it. But this glitch from 6 cents, that is the Morning Dawn. It's the only color you need. Morning Dawn and Plum Dawn are the two colors that I throw on just a little 1/0 or a 2/0 split shot drop shot hook, gamakatsu right there. It's one of those baits that, you know, it's no secret. Everybody throws a drop shot out here, but it's one of those baits that in the summertime, when they get hard to catch, you'll catch you a few fish on a drop shot. Another bait, when the fish start scattering out and the bait fish really shows up and gets thick out here on the main lake, the slice blade bait. We call it a meat bait here on Kentucky Lake. I mean, that bait right there, it catches everything. It'll catch you a big cat. It'll catch you bass. It'll catch you whites. It'll catch everything. Tie that thing on right there, a medium heavy 7-foot rod, and just go out there and wind it around. You can yo-yo it. A lot of different places out here, you know, where there's bait and where there's fish. You can catch fish on that bait right there. I have actually still got a few places out here where I'm catching them on a big spoon. The Nichols big spoon, I don't have to talk a whole lot about it. You guys know the deal there. The spoon is one of those baits that in the summer months, if you find them out there and they just don't want to bite, but they're wadded up good, a lot of times you can yank that spoon up and actually get them to trigger. But for the most part, the big swim baits, the big Ignite swim baits, the Crush 300, 500 crankbaits, things like that, I'm not going to say it's completely behind us, because you can still come out here and catch some on a big crankbait or a swim bait. But for the most part, the winding baits, the power fishing, that is more of an early season deal. And by now, by July, you're going to have to start slowing down. A Carolina rig is another bait. I'll talk to you real quick. This is a brand new worm from 6 cents. This is the Mag Busa. That's an 8-inch worm. It's a little bit bigger than the Busa shaky worm, but I've been putting that on a big football head, a big 3/4 ounce football head, or a Carolina rig, and you can drag that around out here. Cool little bait they just come out with. That's it, guys. For the most part, I mean, the bite is going to start getting tougher. It is. There's a lot of fish still in the lake here, a lot of fish to be caught, but for the most part, your bite's going to start getting tougher. The dog days of hot summer are here. If you're in the area, check out, come by the shop there at Sonar Solutions. We do a full rigging install shop there. We do Humminbird, Garmin, Lowrance, retail sales, installation. We do all the above there. Kentucky Lake Outdoors, they're right down the road from us there on Highway 68. They just opened their brand new location, so if you're in the area, get by and check those out there off of 68, right before you get to Moore's Camp Highway. Fast Eddie's is another great store, you know, check out if you're in the area, right down from there. Check those guys out. They've got a lot of the baits that we talk about. Any of the 6 Sense fishing baits that I talk about, code BH Fishing 10 at checkout will save you a little bit of money, save you the shipping anyway, whenever you check out there at 6censefishing.com. And if you guys want to get a trip, I have got August is starting to book up, but I've got July is pretty well booked, but I'll start booking for fall here before long. Shoot me an email at info@brandonhunterfishing.com, and we'll see you guys on the water.